Hey everyone, it's T. So my best friend and I were talking about the Winx Club and that mess that happened as far as the Netflix controversy. And then she suggested me putting out like a video of outfits and stuff like that I would style the Winx Club in. But frankly, the stuff that I would want to style the Winx Club in is not part of my wardrobe. So I thought it would be much more interesting and probably a little bit more diverse as far as style is concerned if I did a video styling the Winx Club like I was doing wardrobe for the live action. So that's what I'm going to do today. But yeah, I have my computer here in front of me and I'm going to go into Photoshop and work some magic, I guess. Work some magic that Netflix was not able to do. So all of my images are from like Google Images, so I apologize for that. But as I was doing like research for this, I had to remind myself of all of their individual styles. I definitely wanted to keep their individual styles, but also like modernize it. That was my thinking. These outfits are very early 2000s. That's kind of the style now. I kind of incorporated that, but also modernized it a little bit. And I also did it by character. So first of all, let us start with who I started with first, honestly. Flora. So if I remember correctly from the show, Flora's whole thing is like nature. That's why her name is Flora. She wears a lot of flowy things. She wears a lot of pinks and greens, and she wears a lot of flower motifs. So I started with that, but I kind of wanted to not make her palette so saturated. I wanted her to have like an almost kind of bohemian kind of look. So I actually started with flowing skirts, like her thing in the show is flowing skirts and such. So I thought something like this would definitely be good, maybe with as like an everyday thing with some graphic tees, you know, the normal kind of boho chic kind of thing. It could still be colorful, but not as neon as the cartoon is. I was also thinking of printed jeans with butterflies, different flowers. This is one with daisies. Maybe this and a good like pink plain crop top would be nice, or something like this. Just like almost subtle kinds of outfits. I definitely think that this could be like an everyday outfit. If you really wanted to modernize the Winx Club, then as far as tops are concerned, I was also thinking in the same vein of like flowiness, kind of wrap shirts. I also was thinking that like they replaced Flora with like a plus size white woman. And like, I think that she could still be plus size and be Hispanic. And that would be fine. I am all for putting more plus size people in like girl power stuff, but like also making it racially accurate and not whitewashing the characters. So like, anyway, but yeah, I definitely think that these kinds of silhouettes loan themselves really well to that kind of situation. Also this has like flowers on it, but it's a little bit more subtle, I think. I was also kind of thinking of her as like the Urban Outfitters girl of the group. And this is like a very kind of infamous shirt from Urban Outfitters. But I think that would be interesting. Like she shops at Urban. Also this, where is this from? This is from Madewell. They also have like pants and shorts, I think, in this pattern. Definitely like very boho girl, but also like shops at your favorite overexpensive shops. Like, oh, I was also thinking that in the same vein, she doesn't necessarily have to have florals be her main thing. It can also be like patterns and different things like that. I like this like corset top from jadedldn. And then also this is from Farm Rio, is gorgeous. And I was thinking that it could also be a thing as far as like maybe her formal wear, maybe her like I want to show out kind of outfit. Like that's just what I was thinking. And then I also did shoes for all of them because shoes are important. I really just like these. I'm pretty sure they don't match with anything I've shown you so far. But if you had like a plain kind of outfit and this was like the statement piece, it would be like a really good statement piece, I think. And it would really go with like the whole fun-loving situation of the show. So my next challenge was kind of, what if I did want to put her in pastels or like very neon vibrant colors, pinks and blues and all that kind of stuff. similar to the show. So I started looking at, this is from House of Aris. This is this kind of hoodie jacket situation. It's really gorgeous. I love the stuff that they do, but it could definitely be like her, if you made all of their transformation outfits the same kind of color palette, I think it could definitely be part of her transformation outfit. Very like fairy kind of, and still goes with the flower motif. This was also from House of Aris. I noticed that at least one outfit from the show has like thigh highs or colorful socks. So I thought that could be a situation like these green socks with maybe a purple or a pink to kind of hammer home the plant person kind of situation. And then also, if we wanted to bring it all the way back to the 2000s, this is an option. I just really like this photo, but it's literally like Flora's style in the show are these two outfits from Cheepstore. I'm going to try and give the sources to all the stores in this video, but if I miss something, just let me know. I'll have the stores that I do talk about in the description below as well. So that's all I had for Flora. I decided to do Tecna next, and I have this reference image. I think this is an artist's like rendition of all the outfits that she's worn in the show. And I noticed that Tecna's style within the show is very like her name, very like futuristic, kind of Y2K in the actual sense of like the shiny fabrics and the silhouettes that she's wearing are very Y2K. So, and I also know that a lot of artists' renditions of her are very like almost androgynous. So I did want to keep that in mind. So in that vein, let's talk about like fabrics. This I think is a sugarthrillz skirt. But this is definitely, I don't know if this specific silhouette is what I'd want, but this fabric certainly is what gave me most of my inspiration for this. I don't know how well this would show up on camera, but we're styling this as if like I've gotten the okay from like the lighting department, so whatever. I would want at least one of her outfits to have this kind of fabric. And honestly, she could probably wear this outfit. I would just style it with like a turtleneck or some kind of other cover-up kind of shirt and leggings, because that seems to be more of her style. It's not necessarily so revealing as some of the other characters, which is fine, and it gives me quite a bit more to work with. I love layering. These kinds of pants, I think, are definitely within her realm of style. This kind of shiny, this is probably polyester, but it shines within the light, the very pastel, almost neon kind of blue. These cargo pant kind of pockets is definitely within Tecna's style, I think. And then also this, I think that this kind of silhouette as far as like futuristic, holographic fabric is definitely her style. I could see her wearing this as like a fairy. Maybe if this top also had sleeves, I could definitely see this as her fairy outfit. I don't necessarily think that she should be only in pants or in dresses or whatever. I think that her style is very adaptable. I really liked this dress from Goodbye Bread. It's very matte, and then it does this in the light, I guess, which is really cool, and I think it really goes with their whole steez. I could definitely, if you wanted to like modernize it and put them in like, I don't know, high school, college, I could definitely see them at a party and all of a sudden her dress lights up. Like, that's super cool. I also wanted to style her as more of like an alternative kind of girl. So I was also looking at otaq apparel. I think a lot of the stuff that they do is really good. These shiny fabrics, this jacket that this person is wearing is really nice. The bucket hat, amazing. And of course, this entire aesthetic is basically what I'm talking about anyway. And also I was thinking, also from otaq apparel, this pair of overalls would be really nice as kind of like her normal wear, her everyday wear. It's not so neon and shiny, but it also is kind of that like alternative girl, kind of fits with the color palette. She likes purple, that whole thing. I think it could really work. It's a little bit outside of all the other things that I've shown, but I think it could really work. I was also thinking of the idea of like faux leather. This whole outfit goes more with like the how we currently know Y2K fashion, with like the crop top and the A-line skirt, the stockings. those shoes are really cool. It doesn't matter. But yeah, this whole outfit is like, honestly, if you wanted to only have each one of the girls have one kind of style, I think this works with having that specific Y2K era inspiration that's still modern and goes with all of the other outfits that I show in this. Still going with the faux leather kind of situation, but this time it's pants. I really like this as well with the whole Y2K aesthetic. I honestly think that she could probably wear this entire outfit on the show. The tie-dye and the pants and the buffalo shoes. Are those buffalo shoes? There's something along the lines of buffalo shoes is definitely in the vein of where we're going with this, I guess. I was kind of inspired by like, I don't know, emo and stuff like that, or like goth trends, but without being totally goth. I also like this from House of Aris. This looks like satin or silk. Hoodie is definitely in the same vein without being like a totally holographic kind of fabric. And also I was looking at trip pants because she needs trip pants. It's obvious that she needs trip pants. So we're not talking about the 2000s without trip pants. So I was thinking of this for just like normal everyday pants, but also these. I love trip pants belts. They're incredible. Just, I wanted a pair of trip pants when I was little, and these are perfect. Also, this pair of plaid ones is a little bit less like I'm an all purple girl kind of situation. So I also like those. And then this hoodie is from Shop Berthaux? Berthaux? I don't know, but I thought it was very indicative of where we're going with this. It's kind of feminine, but it's oversized. It has that graphic on the front. And then lastly, shoes. So these are from koifootwear. These are super cool, and the plastic string can be reimagined on like Doc Martens or anything else like that. I think it's a really good idea. So next, let's move on to Musa, who is the fairy of music. I think they changed her whole thing to like the fairy of like something. I can't remember what it was. But I did kind of style her around being like the fairy of like sound. Not necessarily music, because that's hard to film, I guess. But sound isn't necessarily. This is also an artist's rendition. If anyone knows the artist, please tell me. I got these from Pinterest. I feel like that's cheating. I was stuck between two different styles for Musa. I like the kind of low-rise jeans that she has going on. These jeans are from jadedldn. I really like I would change out the top for Musa, but I really like these kinds of, this silhouette of jean. I think it's very modern while also still being within the same kind of situation. Also, the model has on headphones, so that kind of sold me. And then also these jeans, and I think she could also wear the top, honestly, this set. To make it appropriate for TV, we would probably have, and to make the art actor comfortable, you would probably have like a t-shirt under this, but it's very 2000s while still being within the same kind of realm. These are from koifootwear, but they're also like very reminiscent of Vans, which is very indicative of my childhood. So I thought this would be like something that she would be drawn towards, her character. I also started looking at lazyoaf. I think that a lot of their stuff is very like streetwear while also being a little bit weird girl, which is how I imagine Musa. This kind of top with maybe one of the jeans that we saw before, or a plaid kind of tennis skirt, something like that. Also, this is a little bit within her color palette, the reds and pinks and blues especially. Yeah, I think I just imagine Musa as like kind of a weird girl, and then of course a bucket hat. So next I kind of also started looking at stuff that was within like the Y2K area, and I thought that this top and like the arm warmers were very of the aesthetic. I could definitely see Musa wearing this. Maybe not with the skull and crossbones, but with something else. Maybe the skull and crossbones has headphones on it. That would be cool. More of this, but also within the color palette of all of the winx. I feel like they all have like a little bit of pink in them. I also thought that like patterns, especially, are very like remind me of sound. So this set from nebbity was interesting, and it also has like a kind of flared legging situation that reminds me of what's popular with the children now. Also, I thought this would be kind of interesting for either for their fairy transformation or just like for her in general, maybe just like as her loungewear or something. It's very big, it's very streetwear, but it's also very different, which I think is kind of would be how I styled Musa. I'm halfway thinking as a writer here in that like I'm giving them personalities based on these clothes. And then also these half sneakers, half boots from Koifootwear. I don't know, are just within the range of things that I've shown so far. And then lastly, I thought that she would kind of be like, not necessarily like a weird girl, kind of like an e-girl kind of situation. So I started styling her along that line. For this shirt, I was like, she's Asian and we can't whitewash her, so let's make it obvious. And I saw this from, let's see, Gothic Lamb. So it says Anti-Social Asian Girl Club. I think that she could wear that with one of these skirts, maybe. Literally in the same fashion of this person on the left here. That kind of styling as well would be very interesting. Or one of these kinds of skirts with these kinds of tights, printed with like a heart or like maybe some music notes. I don't know if those exist. They should. And then also, I included this because it's amazing. By Dij, by D-I-J. It's incredible. I don't know why I chose this, but it's here and I love it and I kind of want to buy it. So next let's move on to Stella. For Stella, I would definitely try to do a very Y2K kind of inspired look in the way that a lot of people are interpreting it now. I actually started with this because the top is very similar to what she wears in the show. I think that it would really work well with this skirt that's also, it's a set. These are from Dolly, Dearest. And I think that it could be her fairy outfit. It could be her everyday outfit. It just seemed very indicative of her style. And that's kind of how I based the rest of this. Also, that purse is amazing. She needs like a tiny purse. But I started looking elsewhere on Oh Dolly Dearest and I saw like this skirt and the plain t-shirt. I also looked at this set, these kinds of flowy short skirts. The ends of the sleeves are flowing. It's off the shoulder. And also this gives me mean girl energy. And I feel like Stella is a mean girl without being mean. I haven't watched the show in ages, so I could be wrong. But this gave me Stella vibes. And then lastly, I liked this. I think it could definitely be along the lines of what she would wear. But I also think that for a television show, you'd probably need something to cover up the cleavage and the shortness. So it would probably need to be like over some leggings. But I like the flirtiness of it. I like the texture. I think that looks really good on a person, but also like in a show to make it look interesting. And then these are just some outfits from ouchhh. This is very, very like Instagram Depop Y2K girl, but I thought it was just Stella, and could definitely be ways to make these outfits more television appropriate with like a good fur collar cardigan that ties in the front. Also, these accessories are really good. Also, this dress could be, if we don't use the pink outfit at the beginning of the Stella section, this could definitely be the fairy dress or like her going out dress. I definitely think it could be something. It's gorgeous. So graphic tees like this, Why Are You So Obsessed With Me? This is from cottonsugarcandy. I don't know about the earrings, but definitely the necklace, like a necklace like this, paired with a skirt that is just as shiny, or maybe even pants. Like, I haven't shown many pants options, but Stella can wear pants if she wants. This I thought could be cool. I definitely remember seeing a lot of like faux fur trims on things. So I think that could be an interesting kind of outfit to have on someone. The skirt specifically, I think if we were going to put a bandeau top on someone on television, they would probably need a lot under it or over it. This is very 2000s. I don't think I need to speak much on this. But this set was cool in that I liked the detail of the hearts along it. So I thought that could be very Stella. I think a lot of this is like the detail to kind of allude to what their individual powers are. I know that that's like a thing that cartoons do that is kind of stereotypical, but I really do like that. And like if I had the power of hearts or whatever, I would wear hearts on literally everything that I have. So why not? And then lastly, we just have some shoes. I got almost all of my inspiration from koifootwear. These are just some sandals. I like the little poof. I think that anything that she could have, whether it's heels or anything, it needs a little bit of like cool detail. So I think like a poof or like a bow could be really cool. And also these. I can't remember what exactly her power is. I think it's like the power of light or something like that. So like the rainbows and the stars, I think this would work really well with some of the skirts that I put in. So next we have Aisha. Her style is very sporty, and I saw that on Wikipedia. It's very sporty. So I tried to use that as my reference point. Also this bodysuit, I knew I needed to find something like that. So for Aisha, I started with streetwear, but I knew I wanted like sporty streetwear, not necessarily like the stuff that I gave Musa. These are from blvucci? blvucci? It's a black-owned brand. I really like their like cozy kids stuff, and I think that it could really work with like the color palette that I'm going for with Aisha. I also started looking at jadedldn. I think she would just have a lot of sweatpants, but they would be like different kinds of sweatpants. So these are like, I think these are terry cloth, and also within the same color palette that I would want her to have. She has a lot of like green and like muted green, which is very different than all the other girls. So I think I would want her in a tracksuit and maybe like a muted green or a blue, something like that. Her powers are also the power of waves or the power of water. So to kind of allude to that, these jeans, especially with like this blue pair of Nikes, is really good. A white crop top could be really simple. I think a lot of her stuff would be like very simple and comfortable, but also like making a statement. I was more focusing on the shirt in this. I think this could be a really good shirt to put with one of the sweatpants or leggings that I have in this situation. Also, this pair of sunglasses is really good, and maybe a good pair of gold hoops. We love a pair of gold hoops. I also really like this set. I think these are shorts. I think they're shorts. They would be shorts if I put them in on TV. I know that the TV show likes putting them in like knee-high socks, so maybe some over-knee socks. To go with the Y2K, I like that this skirt is kind of made of jersey and is like a sweatshirt or something like that, but it's a skirt and it has the prints on it and stuff like that. Also, the shoes in all of these outfits is probably what I'd put her in. And I found the jumpsuit. So this jumpsuit with a shirt underneath would be what Aisha wears on TV. I'd push for it. I also got inspiration from Crystal from FX in this kind of jersey-inspired dress. I think could definitely work on Aisha. And I was also looking at this. This is from We Are Unapologetic. This Lola Bunny set. This might be like a lounge set, but I thought that maybe if they had like a slumber party, that would be cool. So also in the same vein of like the waves, I was thinking that the waves, but also streetwear, this shirt from lazyoaf would be really cool. They styled it in like a kind of wild way on this model, but I think with like a plain black or plain white undershirt, this would be really cool. And literally any pair of pants. This pair of Air Force Ones definitely goes with the color palette of everything else that I had in mind. So I wanted to keep that in mind as well. I thought it could be really cool to like reference another kind of girl power franchise from the 2000s. So this Bratz sweatshirt. I was also thinking of like if I was going to style her along the Y2K aesthetic, that she would be really good in one of these kind of like polo shirts. So this is from cheepstore. I also think that these pants would do really well with Aisha. And also these are from cheepstore. This polo shirt with like the overshirt on top of it would be really nice. And then lastly, I really want her to wear a pair of chunky filas. Like it's necessary. So lastly, we have Bloom, and I kind of struggled with Bloom. She's a main character, but she doesn't necessarily have like a set style like the others do. She's kind of an every girl. You could put her in the Y2K aesthetic, but like I already gave that for Stella, and I don't necessarily want them to look the same. I want them all to have their own individual kind of style, and it's very unique and very different. So I started with the fact that Bloom wears a lot of hearts. So I started with this dress from lazyoaf, maybe not pairing it with the tights itself, but I do think that this could be something that she wears just from the motif of hearts in and of itself. So my camera died, but I'm back. So also from lazyoaf, I found these tights. I think these could be really good with styled with some of the other stuff, because her whole thing is like her powers come from a dragon, right? So I was thinking some sky motifs might be interesting. See a little bit more of that later. More hearts. I think that she can definitely have like a more covered up style than the rest of the girls, even more so than Aisha or Tecna. I wanted to kind of give her the more like shy girl next door kind of situation going on. But also in that same vein, I wanted to give her some stuff that was almost retro inspired, like either from the 70s or from like the 90s. So I was thinking things like this, very flowy things to go with the whole like sky air situations that we have going on would be really interesting. Some swing dresses in like the blue color palette that she seems to have going on. I also thought that it would be nice to have her in some plain sweaters, some plain oversized sweaters with just like a skirt. Very girl next door, very main character kind of. So in the vein of these cloud tights from lazyoaf, I wanted to see if I could give her some more like air and sky inspired stuff. So I saw this dress from Cotton Candy Sugar. It says Angel on it. It's very like 90s, kind of Y2K-esque. I thought this would be really good with a plain white t-shirt underneath it, or some other kind of shirt underneath it. It looks like this, and it's really good. And it goes with like what the other girls are wearing. And then also this, I think this is Delia's. And it's clouds and hearts, which I thought was interesting. It's 90s. I thought it could definitely be like the playful, but still like covered up kind of dress that we want for Bloom. I wanted to keep her kind of playful, and this was definitely one of the images that I thought was really, really good. This is from eatmedo. The gingham, the off the shoulder, just the way that this person looks, like I could definitely see this person being Bloom in the show, especially like maybe not as big of the earrings, but certainly like some statement earrings to show off personality, but still keeping the outfit within like a certain color palette, but also kind of fun. I thought that or any of the other shirts that I showed could definitely be worn with some high-waisted flared jeans, especially like this in the kind of color palette that she has. We could definitely put her in mom jeans, but I think that the high-waisted flared jeans is more reminiscent of the early 2000s. I had a pair of flared jeans in middle school, so I feel like that's definitely more along the lines of where we want to go. And also, we'd probably have a lot of denim in Bloom's wardrobe. Maybe some more denim jackets is what I think I'm missing in this. Also in the same vein as like the 90s, if we wanted her in a more kind of feminine look, I think that a dress like this could really do well with her. Kind of the sweetheart kind of girl next door, but still has a little bit of detail for the eye to catch, I think is very interesting. We could definitely put like a different kind of necklace on her and still style her in a similar way. Plain but with a little bit of detail is definitely where you want to go with the main character. And then also when it comes to 90s, I thought this skirt was amazing. It's kind of reminiscent of one of the ones that one of the girls in the live action is wearing, but I think it could be like elevated. This is from Almighty, and it's a little busy, so let me get rid of the background. I think that something like this with like crop top or like a tied t-shirt could be really cool, very 90s. It goes with the whole heart motif. It's blue. I think that it would be really cool. And then lastly, I really just wanted her in a pair of overalls. Like, I feel like her character is one that is very like inspired by the 90s, like a lot of people nowadays are. So I think a pair of good overalls Pooh, Looney Tunes, any of those classic characters from the 90s would be really good to put on outfits that she has to kind of up the playfulness and stuff like that. Although you'd have to figure out licensing. And then lastly, as far as shoes, I think that she would wear things that are very similar to Converse or Vans. I liked these because they had hearts on them, of course. And these are from koifootwear. And then also, to go with the 90s, this pair of like high-heeled Mary Janes, high-heeled platform Mary Janes are really good. I had a lot of fun with this, trying to style the Winx Club if I was in charge of the live action, which I should be. I kind of interpreted the characters in my own way, but like I'm sure that there are a lot of different interpretations of the characters. I might not have gotten all their personalities right, etc., etc. So if you like any of the stuff that I picked out for the characters, let me know. If you didn't, if you have some other suggestions, I'd like to know, because like I'm open to that kind of thing. Yeah, I just like styling people for the screen. So this is really fun to do. But yeah, if you like this video, make sure to like it, subscribe if you feel like it, comment if you want to. I'll catch you next time. Thanks.